Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. In today's video, we are going to go ahead and make a raised picket planter, and it is going to be entirely out of pickets. Now, in this video, we are going to go ahead and use some pocket hole screws, but you don't have to use pocket hole screws for this build. But if you'd like it to last longer, be a little bit more robust, a little bit stronger, go ahead and use these pocket hole screws and it'll come together beautifully. So if you stick around, we'll go ahead and show you how to do this build. All right, so first things first, we are going to start out with 4 fence pickets. And these 4 fence pickets are going to be your legs. Okay, so let's start off with completely ignore what that other guy just said about cutting 4 of these fence pickets down. We are only going to make these 30 inches tall. You can go up to 35 inches tall if you'd like to, because you're only going to actually need 2 fence pickets to make these legs. And we're going to cut these, like I said, at 30 inches. But you can go up to 35 inches and be perfectly fine. Okay, so after you get done cutting your lengths for your legs down, whether it be 30 or 35 inches, you're going to come over to the table saw and you're going to cut all of those in half. And the reasoning for this is so that we can go ahead and make our planter legs with this. Now, what you may be able to see on here is, well, after I get all of these legs cut, and believe it or not, I actually have a few more cuts on here because I was doing something a little bit differently. But after I get all of these cut down, we're going to come back through. You're going to have some leftovers depending on how tall you make those table legs. You're going to come back through and cut these extras in half as well. And we're going to use these as braces later in the build for those planter boxes. Okay, so once you have your legs cut in half, you're going to come through and put pocket holes through those legs, and you're going to attach the two. You can put glue and glue these together as well as you pocket hole these, but go ahead and put all your pocket holes in and then attach all of your legs together after that. It makes it a lot faster doing it that way. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and come back over to the miter saw, and we are going to cut down 4 fence pickets to 5 feet length. And then we are also going to come back through and cut a couple of cedar pickets down to 20-inch lengths as well. And that's going to be for the depth of that planter. Okay, so I went ahead and flipped you around that direction. I was going to try to get this type of an angle, but I think straight on you guys will be able to see kind of what I'm doing a lot better. Now, what we're about to do can be changed however you want to actually do it. So I don't actually want any screws exposed to the outside. I want everything to look like there are no screws to this. So we're going to go ahead and come through with 1¼ inch screws, and we're going to screw these in through the back side, and this is going to be our front, but we're going to go ahead and screw these from the back side from this board to this, and as long as you use those measurements, your screws should not go through to the other side. So just make sure not to overdrive these, and you should be perfectly fine. Two should hold these in place with no issue whatsoever. All right, so that's our first board. Where'd that other board go? There we go. All right. All right, so I've been blah, blah, blahing without anybody even listening, nothing recording. So I wanted to tell you at the beginning of the video, and I probably went through this on some B-roll about going over the actual cuts for these legs, because at the beginning of the video, I said 4 of your fence pickets, you're only going to need 2 for the legs. So we are going to come through with the extra 4 that we ended up cutting, and we're going to get our strips for our bracing for the bottom of this out of that as well. So I went ahead and ripped those strips down off screen, but you're just going to end up wanting about 1-inch strips. All right, so far, easy peasy. We've got one side entirely done. I chose to do the longer portions. You can do your sides instead first, but I wanted this because with 2 longer portions, it'll just be easier. They'll stand a lot better, and I'll be able to put my other boards on a lot easier going from the other side. So let me get this one out of the way, and we will get the rest of this up here, and let's go ahead and, which way do you see it? Let's go ahead and speed that video up. Okay, so this is where I come through and I cut 14 20-inch pieces. That's going to be the 4 side pieces and then your entire bottom of your floor for this fence picket bed. And it's going to take, I think it was about 5 fence pickets to get that many cut out of it. All right, so I went ahead and threw the flower bed up onto my workbench, flipped it upside down, and took those 20-inch pieces, did one side, did the other, and then you just go ahead and squeeze those other portions in. Something that you see right there, you might be able to see it, is I did put the slats on the bottom. Those are going to be the braces that you need to put all of your flooring in there. But go ahead and make sure that there's a little bit of a gap there so that you can get these other boards, these sideboards put into place right there. And then we're just going to go ahead and come through. We're going to flip it back over and we're going to put all of the bottoms in here going across. Now, don't mind my ugly mug, but this is what happens when you don't follow the exact same measurements that some guy on Facebook said he's going to make it. When you start doing it your own measurements, you start having to make custom pieces. So we are going to go ahead and rip that down. We had to rip this down to 4.5 inches so that we can get it to fit on that end cap. But I'm pretty sure if we would have made it exactly the same size as he would have made it, I wouldn't have had this issue. Now, doing it that way, the good thing is I left enough of a gap. We don't actually have to drill holes in this for that drainage. We'll go ahead and tack these down, and we shouldn't have to worry about it because there's going to be a less than 1/8 of an inch, maybe about 1/8 of an inch gap in between going all the way across this. So, 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch going all the way across. So it should be enough to allow any water to escape that needs to escape from here. All right, so this is what we have. This is going to be our end product. Now, something that I did not show on camera, I forgot, I did put cross bracing in here to hold these so that these don't flex out, that they stay the same, and then nothing bows. I also added this top trim here, so what you'll want to end up doing is coming through and putting one more, oh, here we go. You'll end up putting one more board right here so that you have something else to attach this to. And all I did was went ahead and brad nailed that in. You can, if you want, go ahead and put screws in it, but like I said, I did not want to have any exposed screws. So there you go. That's your end product.